Well, here we are, April 6th, and living through probably one of the most impactful events in anyone's lifetime, dealing with the coronavirus pandemic and just documenting and vlogging around how I felt at this moment in time. Because I imagine somewhere down the line, I'm going to think about this and be like, wow, that really happened. So, uh, I've been following this probably since mid February when things were fairly calm. And big thanks out to a YouTube channel that I've been watching, Peak Prosperity, Chris Martinson. Um, from the get go, they had it spot on. I mean, there even though information was just kind of coming out bit by bit out of Wuhan, China, their analysis and predictions of what was happening was nearly spot on. So the first thing that I really kind of hold on to is how they were talking about the different uh, phases people will go through as they're trying to realize what's happening here. And they put out this little quote here: uh, all truths pass through three stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, violently oppressed. Third, accepted as being self evident. And right now, we're probably in the phase where most likely most of us will be thinking this is self evident. For myself, and even with my own inner circle, I didn't want to alarm anyone or make anyone panic, but I just kind of brought information out about the virus that it wasn't just going to be some small thing, that this one really had a chance to take off and be something pretty crazy. And of course, when I first started, I was ridiculed. Where's my tinfoil hat? I'm going to buy you a tinfoil hat, all that kind of stuff. And then, as the numbers started progressing, it it turned into something more violent and anger when I even would bring it up. So here I'm going to show the the numbers, and this one was dated. What is it here? March 2nd. March 2nd, only a month and four days ago. And here's what we were looking at that time. USA, 91 confirmed cases. Now, there's something to be said about that, because we were so unprepared as a nation around the world. This little saying right here: you can't have any cases if you don't have run any tests. So true, because we just didn't have testing at this time. So the cases were probably far larger than what's showing here. Uh, this is the case count as of today. And this is from the worldometers.info coronavirus uh, stats in terms of what's tracking here. And USA is at 339,000 with nearly 9,700 deaths, 99,689. I think the bigger thing to be careful of with the count is the serious critical, because we're seeing that is the if you get corona, you have a 15% chance of, well, I think it's 5 to 15% chance of actually being hospitalized. And then if you basically go in and they put you on a respirator, your chance of survival actually is very slim. It's 70 to 87%. I think that's what Dr. Wong, it's another YouTuber that I watch, was saying, is the survival rate once you get on the ventilator, which is obviously not good. So this 8,700 count up here, a lot of these people may not survive. Right now, we are probably 10 days away from the peak, and this is going to get much worse. And even Donald Trump and they have a daily briefing has come out and showed us the numbers that this is going to get pretty bad. So kind of vlogging this, like I said, for my own personal historical reference of what it's like to live through this era. I mean, you can tell that this is going to be something crazy once they started canceling the NBA, all pro sports. I mean, these organizations are money driven. They are not going to cancel, things on a whim. I mean, Vegas casinos are all closed. They're not going to close this unless there is something absolutely serious going on here. Uh, I mean, when I knew the numbers from the Peak Prosperity Channel, the thought that we could actually close the entire world and everyone is supposed to stay home till April 30th, which, even from, my perspective, it's not going to be the permanent date, because even if you go to April 30th, you let everyone out, well, what's going to happen? We don't have a vaccination. Vaccination's looking like, 1.5 years out, and we let everyone out again, it's going to just happen again. So I can't see anything long term, in a short term period where this is going to end anytime soon. But so here we are, April 6th, and we're, like I said, we're about probably 8 to 10 days away from the peak, and I just wanted to kind of show my video what I was thinking at this time. I'm not panicked. I was pretty ready. I was able to go out and buy, bought plenty of groceries, about 6 months of, canned foods and things that are going to last for a while. Because who knows how much worse this can get. I mean, the economy is not going to take this lightly. We can't have people not go to work. It's going to kill the economy if we keep this going for too long. And, if you're thinking pretty straight, you're like thinking, wait, if everyone's home, who's out there picking the food? Who's out there at the plants, doing the work and putting this together? I mean, some of those supply chains are still going, but how disrupted are the chains going to be through this? As well as everyone's eating at home now. No one's, there's still takeout you can do, but it's the restaurant business is completely shut down in most cases. But there's no panic on my end. I'm just kind of looking and seeing what's going to happen here. And the next 10 days is going to be pretty big. And I think I will make another video here in probably a few days just to kind of show how things are progressing. I want to see if I can capture some of kind of what's happening. So basically, if you go outside these days, everybody's outside. It's like we're back to the 1980s. People mowing their lawns, everyone's walking. It's almost like a time warp for me because I grew up in that era and I knew what it was like to go outside and everyone's playing. But it is still so real. I think that's the other thing that's to be said here is that even if somehow at this point in time I was a time traveler and I was able to time travel back, there's nothing that I could have said that would have made any difference. I mean, I could have went to the government, I could have went to Trump, I could have went to the WHO, I could have went to the CDC and showed them the exact numbers, like down to the individual cases, exactly what's going to happen. And it wouldn't have mattered because until things got bad, there's plenty of warning to the government about what was going to happen with this and, why we needed to be somewhat prepared, and we ignored them. It wouldn't have mattered. I could have went back and screamed and kicked and, showed numbers, try to convince people. It wouldn't have mattered. Well, anyways, this is the end of my vlog for today, and I will see if I can get another one up in a few days here.